Alright, what is up guys? We are back with another video here, and this game I just picked up. It's $3 or $4 on Steam right now on sale. Regular price it's like $4 or $5, and absolutely, hands down, I'm enjoying it way more than Diablo 4. It's basically like Vampire Survivors, and Diablo 2 had, a bastard child. So just wanted to share this with you guys and just kind of show you. Yeah, it's just kind of a hidden gem and definitely worth picking up. So first off, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, really appreciate it. Helps me out. I'm getting close to 1,000 subs. And with that out of the way, we'll just kind of take a look a little more at this game. So it's called Halls of Torment. And like I said, it's basically a mashup of Diablo and Vampire Survivors. Very, very fun. And it's in early access, but it still has quite a lot of content. So 7 classes, you start off with 1 and then you do some stuff and unlock it. There's various upgrades, some permanent, others, per each run. It is like a roguelite, Vampire Survivor-esque game. So what I am enjoying very much is so you get these like skills and spells, and then you just have like passive buffs and stuff. Like you pick up these spell books, and then you get to pick from a couple spells like that you want to choose. The characters are all very different, and I just want to kind of compare this game to Diablo 4 a little bit, even though it's not, a perfect comparison. The builds that I'm coming up with and just the way it works in this game versus Diablo 4, like I'm enjoying it so much more. And even to an extent, like Path of Exile, I feel like it's got that perfect sort of blend of like easy to learn, difficult to master, and it's just got a lot of really cool and interesting things and mechanics. Like there's quite a bit of depth to it that you wouldn't really expect to find. And like if this had like an online multiplayer, I would be in heaven. I mean, I had a lot of fun with Heroes of Hammerwatch, playing that with my brother, and it's like if I could co-op this with him, like I think we would get like hundreds of hours of gameplay out of it. So, there are bosses in each level, like multiple bosses, different monster types. Just very fun all around, and a lot of different ways that you can build your character and beat the game. And it's very challenging. Like it feels very, very challenging, but not impossible. So far I've only completed 1 run, but like you can see here, like there's just very interesting choices to pick from. And like it's very like it explains what each thing does, so you're not left guessing. Like attack speed here, it applies to everything, not just your regular attack. So like it increases the speed at which your spells and abilities goes off, and it explains it here. It applies to the main character and all abilities if possible. So you're not left guessing like, well, what does this affect? Like, it just tells you. There are just, a lot of really cool things that you can do, and I can't really say the same about that in Diablo 4. And it's just, you kill a lot of monsters. Like that's what I want out of an ARPG. And I think sometimes, like especially nowadays, like Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, I think had the perfect, formula for amount of time you spent like building your character versus the amount of time that you spent killing monsters. And I think that that's one area that they have shifted so much of it into, like in PoE and Diablo 4, like the amount of time you have to spend thinking about and like managing your inventory, possibly trading, crafting, coming up with builds, actually like spending your points, respecking. That sometimes like just the killing monsters aspect gets totally left behind in the dust. And like a lot of times, I just want to get on and like kill monsters and like unwind and relax. And that's not something that I can do in a lot of the games nowadays, because you have to spend so much time actually like planning things out, managing stash, inventory, currency, farming things. Like, you're faced with so many choices that don't have like an answer that you can comfortably make a decision without like doing research, if you haven't already like researched it previously. Whereas something like this, and like Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, like I level up, I open up my skill tree, and I open up my character tab. I'm like, hey, what do I want to spend my 5 stat points on? Like, boom, boom, boom. Typically, if you have a piece of gear you're looking to equip, like you're trying to get the stats for it. And then in Diablo 2, like with your skill tree, you're like, well, I'm going for this skill. I'm gonna max this out. Like, you can pretty much make a decision in less than 30 seconds, like fairly easily. Very, very rarely do you spend more than a minute when you level up in Diablo 1 or Diablo 2. Same thing here. Like I can look through these and, situationally decide like, what do I want? What's going to benefit me most, like of the 4 choices. And then I'm just right back into it, slaying monsters. And it's just a lot of fun. Like, I hope that the games can, shift a little bit more back towards just the monster killing aspect of the game. And get a little bit out of, like, you can still have really cool and awesome builds without having to spend like countless hours figuring them out. The other thing too is that, especially with Diablo 4, here's a boss, this like worm thing. So with Diablo 4, like they've basically had the same classes in the game, in the series since Diablo 2. Like Diablo 1 to Diablo 2 saw like huge just shift and fresh ideas when you went from just the 3 characters or classes of Diablo 1, very, very basic like D&D type classes like rogue, which, archer basically, warrior, your melee class, and then a sorcerer or like a caster. So to Diablo 2, where you've got barbarian, necro, Amazon, paladin, and oh my gosh, why am I not thinking of the other? Let's see, barbarian, necro, Amazon, paladin, sorceress, duh. And then you had druid and assassin in the expansion. So just huge difference from Diablo 1 to Diablo 2, and then when you go from Diablo 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4, like the only class that was not like in a previous Diablo game. I mean, they had a monk in the Diablo 1 Hellfire expansion, so it wasn't really, it was kind of new, but not entirely. Like really the only class that was new was the Witch Doctor, and it was almost more of like an off-brand necromancer. Um, so it wasn't really like a fresh take on the classes, or Diablo 1 to Diablo 2 you went from 3 starting classes to 5. Like, why didn't Diablo 3 come in with like 7 classes? Or like, why didn't they have um something fresh? Like, this game has some fresh ideas on classes, and like the differences between them so far. Of the four, I think 4 or 5 that I've unlocked, like they all have very different play styles, like with strengths and weaknesses. And when you don't have that in an ARPG, it's just really not that interesting. So I mean, I think Blizzard, hopefully, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like maybe being bought by Microsoft will actually like change for the better. Um, and maybe they will be able to go back to what once made them, the top tier PC gaming company, hands down. But like, I mean, I don't know how many people worked on this and developed it. For, wouldn't surprise me if it was just one guy. But like, you've got one guy here coming up with like more interesting stuff than, in my opinion at least, than a billion or $1 million company, with just deep pocketbooks and tons of people working on it. So like, the problem with Diablo 4's progression system is that it's a little bit like schizophrenic. I mean, at least in Path of Exile, like your character power, pretty much for the most part, it's gear, and then it's your passive skill tree. Um, and I mean, skill gems to an extent, but like, I don't really look at that as that's just sort of not quite the same amount of system. Like, basically you just pick the ability you want to use. Like, there's not a whole lot more to it, and then you just throw it in your gear. But in Diablo 4, it's like you've got your skill tree, and then you've got your gear, and then you've got your legendary powers, and then you've got the Paragon boards, and then you've got the glyphs, and there's just a lot of different systems there going on, that determine like your overall character power. And it's just not, in my opinion, good to have that many different areas, that a player needs to focus on or figure out to. Oh, dang it. I think I have a revive still, so yeah, there we go. Oh crap. Oh dang it, I want to kill this boss. Come on. There we go. But yeah, so like this game, you also get gear. Oh, I should not have picked that because I already had a chess piece. Oh well, not a big deal. But yeah, so like, oh, final boss. But yeah, even the bosses in this game are better than the Diablo 4 bosses. Like it's pretty sad. Sorry, I'm focusing. This is the first time I've got to the boss. Oh man, he's too fast for me. This is the first time I got to the boss on this level. There's like three, well, at least three levels right now. And it is, like I said, early access, so I'm sure they're going to be adding more. Oh, maybe I can, like, kite him around this. Oh. Oh. Ouch. Dang it. He can just, like, run up on me and hit me, and that's, like, a big problem. So, like, basically the way it works is when a monster walks into you, that's, like, when they hit you. Oh, crap. Oh. But yeah, there's a lot of just like different mechanics. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh, oh no. Okay, but yeah, there's a lot of mechanics in this game. So I unlocked, a warlock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm not sure what the 7th class is. But you know, there's this guy. He's basically got a flamethrower. Just unlocked a warlock, so I haven't played him. This is your starting class, just basically like your generic melee fighter. The cleric, I think, is really good. He's pretty different in terms of like he's super slow, has high regen, like bad armor, and then his attack it's like very delayed, but then he shoots twice, and it seems like if you read the description, it deals damage in a cone, equally splitting among all foes. But like if you look at his base damage, so here it's like 32, 45, 100, 75, 200, 2000. So if you hit like one enemy, you're hitting them for like you shoot twice, and then you hit for 4000 damage. So like you can just like insta kill some of the bosses early, and get like super farmed. And so far, this is the class that I beat the first level on. But yeah, so like you can see here, just the different classes, very very different. And I'm not. Let me read what the warlock does again. Ghostly projectiles. So, and then they also have like different stats over here on the left that you get for every level, and then every like 5 or 10 levels they typically, maybe it's every 10 levels they get another bonus. This is where you level up like your permanent buffs, and then this guy you can like, so I still haven't, okay, so I think when you extract it, so yeah, you can, there's like this well in each level, and if you get an item, you can put it in the well, and it like comes up here, and then you can pay this guy to like permanently unlock that item that you can then like start off each map with, which is pretty cool. So like there's some progression to the game. Over here you've got like your quests that unlock things. This is where you unlock some of the skills. So there's just like you can see there's a lot of different quests. It's how you unlock items, characters, spells, skills. So it's pretty cool. Like there's a lot. Like you're definitely gonna get your money's worth out of this game for $5. And like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot more. Like I tried to play Diablo 4 Season 2, and I just started to feel it felt like a chore very quickly. I just couldn't get back into it, but I'm really enjoying this, so highly would recommend it. I wish Diablo and like even I hope PoE 2 will will be a little bit more like towards this play style where it's just like, hey, let's jump in and let's kill monsters and like, you know, more kill monsters. Like, yes, I still want builds. I enjoy coming up with builds, but like, can we have more time in the game just killing monsters than managing inventory, gear, etc. So thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you're still here at this point, might as well hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. And remember to give them the D.